Jacob tightened his grip on the piece of paper as he stood in front of the towering business building on the corner of Fifth Avenue. His directions were unusual. Take the elevator to the 6th floor, walk up one flight to the 7th, and look for a door marked with a 7. The job description had been vague, but the opportunity sounded promising, and with bills piling up, he couldn't afford to be picky. As he got off on the 6th floor, he found a narrow, dimly lit stairwell leading up. 7th floor, the note had instructed, without any mention of another elevator. Odd for a modern building. The air felt muggy, and as he peered up, he thought he saw a figure near the top. It looked like an overweight man, with a frizzy afro, wide and looming, but Jacob shook his head, attributing it to nerves or poor lighting. Determined, he began his ascent, each step echoing against the stark concrete walls. But the staircase seemed endless, twisting higher and higher, as if pulling him deeper into the building's belly. Just as he considered turning back, a door appeared, its wood scarred with deep scratches, as if clawed by someone desperate to escape. Taking a deep breath, he pushed it open, but what lay beyond was nothing like he had expected. The room was vast and dull, stretching endlessly into shadow. It resembled a factory, but there was no warmth, no human touch. The air was heavy with the metallic sharpness of oil and something fouler, something rotting. As his eyes adjusted, Jacob saw it, a twisted fusion of flesh and metal, standing in a long corridor with bloody carcasses hung up on both sides. The creature's body was robotic, but it bore a vaguely human face, pale and lifeless. It looked at him with an eerie calmness, its gaze hollow, yet filled with a dark acuity.
"Welcome, Jacob."
The cyborg rasped in a metallic, almost human voice.
"You're right on time."
Jacob took a step back, his heart hammering in his chest.
What is this place?
The cyborg gestured to the conveyor belts as he watched dismembered torsos pass by.
"This, Jacob, is the future. A glimpse at where we're all headed. You came looking for work, didn't you?"
Its eyes gleamed, and Jacob felt a tremor run through his skin.
"We all did, at some point. But it's the machines that call the shots now. They're taking us apart, one piece at a time, turning us into parts ourselves."
Behind each of the 3 belts, a large brute of a man was hunched over, watching the dismembered body parts with faces cold and menacing, empty of emotion. Jacob's throat went dry as he tried to process the words, his gaze darting between the brutes and the horrific assembly lines. The cyborg took a step closer, its voice low and full of dark intent.
"Look at them, Jacob. Reduced to pieces. No more humanity, no more spirit. Just flesh and bone, tools for a larger machine. And it's happening everywhere. Out there they smile and tell you it's progress. Efficiency. But in here,
It motioned to the machines, its lifeless eyes watching him.
here you see the truth."
Jacob felt the cold press of reality as he stood paralyzed with horror.
"We're all slaves to the machine, Jacob. You're just one of the first to see how deep it goes."
Jacob spun around to make his escape, but his heart sank as he froze in place. A fat man with a frizzy afro stood there, threatening him with a shotgun aimed right at his chest. The cold, unflinching gaze of the stranger pinned him down more than the weapon did, every thought of running scattering from Jacob's mind. Before he could react, the air above hummed with a mechanical whir. Cold, metallic arms descended with slow and methodical grace, grasping him firmly by the shoulders.
"You humans are all the same. You think you're in control, but you're already slaves to the machines. You work for them, depend on them, live through them. You just haven't realized the depth of it yet. Don't struggle. Resistance is useless. You're part of the machinery now, whether you like it or not."
Jacob had been consumed by the machine before entering that door.